Welcome all to the Nameless channel. Please like and subscribe, but most importantly, enjoy the story. In a quaint and unassuming corner of the world, there lived a boy named Thomas. Like many children, Thomas had an extraordinary imagination, capable of conjuring entire worlds within the confines of his mind. Among these creations was a friend, an intangible companion, whom Thomas referred to as Mr. Silas. Mr. Silas was an enigmatic character. He was tall, charming, slightly eccentric, clad in an attire reminiscent of mid-20th century fashion, always wearing a fedora that cast a shadow over his face. The two would indulge in whimsical conversations and embark on imaginary adventures that were known solely to them. To any onlooker, Mr. Silas was merely a figment of childhood fancy, an invisible friend who occupied an innocent space in Thomas's life. However, to Thomas, Mr. Silas was far more than imaginary. On those quiet afternoons when sunlight dappled the living room floor, Mr. Silas shared stories with Thomas, tales that a young mind could barely grasp but would deeply imprint his young heart. Mr. Silas spoke of places Thomas had never been to, using words that seemed curiously dated. Despite the oddness, Thomas felt a curious comfort in his companion's company. Yet, when Thomas eagerly narrated his interactions with Mr. Silas to his parents, his stories were met with indulgent smiles or polite chuckles. Friends dismissed his accounts as playful fantasies, while psychologists assured his parents it was merely a developmental phase. As days turned to years, Mr. Silas's charismatic presence began to fade into the recesses of Thomas's growing mind, overtaken by the obligations of adolescence and the gravity of growing up. But even as Thomas outgrew the confines of childhood, the memories of his friend lingered as a gentle ebb just beneath the surface of his thoughts. Life continued its relentless march onward. Thomas entered adulthood, acquiring roles of increasing responsibilities, a profession, a family, a life defined by the tangible and real. It was during one of these ordinary days, well into his adult years, that Thomas found himself in the dusty alcoves of a forgotten bookstore. Within those quiet aisles, ripe with the smell of old paper and stories untold, a particular item caught his eye. A yellowed and fragile newspaper, its age betrayed by its fragility. Curiosity piqued, Thomas handled the paper with utmost care. His eyes scanned the brittle pages until they landed upon a certain headline describing an abrupt public disappearance under mysterious circumstances. A twinge of familiarity tugged at his memory. Intrigued, he read further. The name etched in faded letters on the paper's surface matched, without a doubt, his old friend's name, Mr. Silas Thompson. From the scant information, Thomas gleaned that Mr. Silas was indeed once alive, having disappeared without a trace many decades prior, a victim of mystery and time's silent passage. Unease settled over Thomas as an unfamiliar chill crawled up his spine. He shared an odd nostalgia, mixed with bewilderment, that evoked memories long tucked away. Was it possible that the companion of his youthful imaginings was not only real but also ensnared by fate's strange strands? The revelation led him to ponder the blurred line between reality and imagination, the unexplainable bridge that might have connected a living boy to a restless soul from the past. Thomas contemplated the meaning of Mr. Silas's peculiar presence throughout his childhood. The conversations, the companionship, the old-fashioned charm. Was it merely fanciful whimsy, or perhaps something more profound, an inexplicable meeting beyond the realms of logic? As we conclude the tale, one is left to ponder the mysteries that life intermittently presents. Shadows of reality and illusion, intertwined, leave even seasoned minds to wonder about the secrets held within existence. Though inexplicable, they are sometimes experienced through such fleeting moments in life that defy comprehension. Thomas's story invites us to consider, could there be more to our world than meets the eye? Might there be echoes of histories yet heard, whispers from the past bending time to touch the present? As the curtains of certainty waver in life's breeze, the answer remains an enigma, inviting reflection and contemplation, a gentle reminder of life's enigmatic beauty. Thank you all for listening to tonight's story. Let us know in the comments if you've ever had an imaginary friend. Please enjoy another video, and as always, have a spooky night.